One great sword versus another. Well, and a bunch of your cronies. And again, this is like the ultimate like villain for
Brothers,
a Dark Knight.
The time has come to call upon the true power of the Heavens Ward.
Fight me if you will, warrior of light. I care not. All who stand against me will be destroyed, be they servants of the darkness or the light. By my blessing shall all men be sanctified, and an endless era of peace begin. Vice and conflict shall cease to be. You reject my divinity, yet what have you to offer my people in its stead? Bitter truth? Virtuous suffering? No matter. If you believe your cause just, I call upon you to defend it with your life.
This is so epic. I mean, too bad, like, that's... I don't think we're gonna get to see much of the fight, I think. Your feeble light, something, shall fade before my brilliance. Oh, Dragon's Gaze is the one you want to look away from. And this is like, well, I guess like Binding Coils, particularly Bahamut, was a spectacle. Oh, Ascalon, drink deep of the power of slumbering gods. But this fight is a spectacle to be sure. I'll stand in one of them, I guess. Easy. Oh, and these dudes are supposed to be separate. Well, at least in like Savage mode, they're supposed to be. Oh, crap. Yeah, this is awesome when it opens up to this This like skybox or whatever you want to call it. Just very cool looking. Blackest Night. Dude, you can't even break my Blackest Night. You're weak.
How can this be? A millennium of prayer and the Eye's power combined, and still you stand.
I think people are still trying to figure out what the significance of that is.
What are you?
I mean, I would say potentially a hint at, you know, the revelations in Shadowbringers. But if it is, it's a very, like, what, opaque hint? Done. Crushing gods. It's what I do.
It is over then. I had hoped that mine would be the hand to end it. But knowing you, there was little chance of that. 'Twould seem the Eye has served you well.
And now he gets the other eye.
Its twin. At long last. All that remains is to take them beyond the reach of man and dragon both. With this task accomplished, my toil shall finally be at an end.
Nope, not yet. You'd have to think thou hadst done well to resist mine influence, bathed in my power and blood as thou wert. I was just gonna say, like, if all of his powers are in his eyes, like, you would think holding both of the eyes would have all of his power against you. And he was already struggling to, like, fight back Nidhogg with just one of his eyes. Alas, in thine anticipation of comfort, thou hast lowered thy guard. Oh. The keening of my fallen kindred, their smoldering desire for vengeance. Mine eyes have partaken of 1,000 years of pain, a pain which I shall bestow upon thee. Drink deep of my rage, mortal, and become me. Oh, that's how Nidhogg comes back, because he's inhabits Estinian. Duh. God. Yeah, he knows what's up. He's like, you just took down a god. I think I'm gonna get out of here.
Nidhogg, my child, what hath thy fury made of thee? Let us away, servant of Hydaelyn.
Chief! Over there! Oi! Haha! God's damn it, you always have to cut it so bloody close.
Don't even notice I'm riding a dragon, because I'm just that badass.
It would seem she has done it again.
Was there ever any doubt? Let us return to Ishgard. Our friends will be eager to learn the battle's outcome, and welcome back their champion.
Where is Estinian?
He is now our enemy.
I dare say you are the first soul in Ishgardian history to arrive in our city upon Dragonback. This scene shall be remembered for 1,000 years to come.
Just badass.
As we had feared, the Archbishop summoned the soul of King Thordan into himself, and thence became a primal.
But he and his knights are no more, thanks to the Warrior of Light.
Your struggles are not yet over, mortals.
Whom do I have the pleasure?
I am Midgard Sommer. I have journeyed with Hydaelyn's champion and observed her deeds in the conflict between man and dragon. Tell me, children of Thordan, do you desire peace?
My people have committed unspeakable atrocities against dragonkind, even against our own. Would that we could undo these wrongs, but we cannot. Be that as it may, the future yet presents a chance to begin anew. Our nation has broken free of the shackles of a false faith, and Nidhogg shall lead his kindred against us no more. I doubt not that it will require much effort and perseverance, but 'tis my belief that in time, Ishgard will again become a place where man and dragon may abide together in harmony.
It's like a
I shall remember thy words.
Nidhogg's still around. Say something?
Yet be warned.
Yeah.
Nidhogg's soul liveth on. His unbridled rage hath claimed for its vessel the one thou callest the Azure Dragoon.
Estinian.
Doubt not but that Nidhogg will call out to his brood ere long, nor that they shall answer him. Steel yourselves, for the true test is yet to come.
It's like, you think this is over? Not yet.
Come what may, we will never cease to believe. Upon the souls of they who have sacrificed themselves to pave the way for peace, we will never abandon our cause.
1,000-year war cannot be ended in a day. It may take generations. What thou dost begin, thy children must continue. Entrust unto them thy hopes and dreams, that peace may reign again, and forevermore.
Oh, here we go. Credits. Nobuo Matsu.
Let all here present attest that Sir Emmerich, acting on behalf of the Archbishop, has appended his signature.
On behalf of the Archbishop.
I do hereby declare that from this day forth, the Holy See of Ishgard shall once more be counted a member of the Eorzean Alliance.
So are they keeping the...
Let our nations move forward as one and stand united against the Garlean Empire.
Are they keeping Thordan's death hidden?
For the future of Eorzea.
For the future of Eorzea!
Here's my girl. Oh. Damn, what a way to end this.
There you are. A noble monument to a noble soul.
From here, Lord Orshafon can watch over all of Ishgard.
It has been a long and arduous journey, and we have lost much and more along the way. Yet come what may, we must stay true to our purpose and press on.
That's right, you two. It's high time we got back to rebuilding the Scions. Which means we're going to need money! And lots of it!
So ends a glorious chapter in their tale. However, tumultuous days yet lie ahead for Ishgard. After 1,000 years under the yoke of the Church, the people take their first tentative steps into the unknown.
It's so great that they still address all this.
And though they spy a glimmer of peace upon the horizon, Nidhogg's vengeful shadow yet remains to darken the way. Be that as it may, so long as the young commander of the Temple Knights and his heroic companions are there to guide them, the people may hold fast to hope. The hope that one day true peace will return to Ishgard, and that man and dragon may live in harmony once more. Let the deeds writ herein never be forgot, that they may inspire generations yet unborn to strive ever heavensward.
Yeah, they always got to end it with the, you know, the name of the expansion or whatever. Or at least they do with this in A Realm Reborn. All right. Woo! One hell of a ride. First thought was the, you know, I was just saying, you know, were they planning on, you know, keeping the fact that Thoradin and the Knights 12, you know, like everything that happened with them, were they planning on hiding that? Because that seems like just replacing one lie with another. You know, because he said something about, like, by order of or decreed by or whatever, Thoradin or the Archbishop. But anyway, to like general impressions, I mean, I don't think anybody could really argue that Heavensward was not better than A Realm Reborn. Like, I legitimately liked A Realm Reborn, but this was just so much better. But I wonder, like, I've brought up some things about, like how, the it's not the pacing, but the structure, like, quest-wise, of Heavensward, I think helps with the narrative, in that, while there were some, you know, portions here and there where you would get a quest, go out, do something real quick, then come back, and then get another quest, go out somewhere, do something real quick, and then come back. I'm thinking most notably, or at least most recently, from, you know, the dude in the Forgotten Knight. There was a lot of those, specifically like trying to look for Hilda, and there was probably another quest that was like that somewhere. But generally, like, a lot of the quests were just a straight, like, obviously how the quests go is all linear, but like there's like a linear progression. The only word I can think of is a linear, like, sequencing or whatever of the quests, in that you're not going back and forth between like one place and several other whatever. It's you're moving from one location to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, which is something that I don't think was really a part of A Realm Reborn at all. It was, A Realm Reborn was a lot, again, you know, the memes or whatever, pray return to the Waking Sands. I think just that way of telling the story was, I think, stunted, like, its progression, or how the progression felt, versus this was, yeah, it felt like a consistent progress. Like, you were always moving forward, instead of like one step forward, one step back, or like two steps forward, one step back, or something like that. This just helped with, you know, telling that story in, it told it better. Like I had also said, I think the lore of Heavensward really helped to engross you, where the lore of A Realm Reborn was essentially 1.0. And for somebody that still is yet, like, I know there's a YouTube video that goes over the whole MSQ of 1.0, that, like, you actually see it in game, but like, I've only ever sat down and watched about a half hour of it at a time, you know, with like no voice acting or whatever. Or if there is voice acting, there's very little of it, and I don't think I ever got to any of it. I haven't sat down and done it, but it's just for somebody that's not aware of it. And I mean, they give enough of it, obviously, and most of it's not, I think, about 1.0, but about what kind of happened between. Anyway, I think that that because 2.0, or A Realm Reborn, was so much kind of just in the moment of itself, really, kind of, versus having that deep lore in Heavensward to draw from, to kind of build a story on, or to create more depth to that story, I think helped it a lot more too. Obviously, also connecting to, I mean, now that we're Orshafant, like, connecting to characters like Orshafant and Ysael, and then, you know, having those moments, you know, of their deaths or whatever. Like, we had Moonbrita, but Moonbrita was just in and out so quickly, where Orshafant and Ysael we got to really spend some time with. You know, our travels with Ysael, and just Orshafant, you know, obviously helping us out at the beginning, and our time with him in The Realm Reborn. And just, you know, him kind of jumping in from time to time to help us out, I think connected us more to him. So those moments like that were held more weight. I mean, obviously, like Thoradin, I mean, now kind of moving on to another point, Thoradin being such an epic fight and an epic moment or whatever, I think certainly, because what was our last epic, like the last epic moment as far as like a fight or anything was Steps of Faith, I think, in A Realm Reborn. You know, which was epic in its own right, but like nothing compared to the Thoradin fight. Which is just a great like capstone to that story. Oh, well, I'm also thinking of, I should be comparing 3.0 to 2.0, which we did actually have Praetorium and Gaius and Ultima Weapon. So yeah, so I'm not even I'm comparing apples to oranges here. I mean, the end of actually 2.0 was epic. But I think, like, not having, you know, the giant, like, cutscene heavy dungeons a part of it, I think helps this time around. Because as cool as all that was, I think just being in group content and sitting and watching cutscenes for a long time doesn't, you know, it's different. It feels different. It comes across different. Like in my case, when I was doing it solo. Although again, if I'm comparing my experiences, again, it's just Thoradin was just epic. It was just truly epic. Yeah, I think the key is what I said is having that lore, you know, to really kind of add weight and create a depth to the story of Heavensward that A Realm Reborn just didn't quite have. And then the fact that, you know, the adventure in Heavensward was this constant progression because of the way that the quests were presented. I think those two things, I would say, are the biggest thing that really improved Heavensward over A Realm Reborn. Oh, and the voice acting. God, the voice acting was so much better. Again, like, I don't want to disparage the voice actors of A Realm Reborn, because I think many of them did great. But some of them, I think, just didn't fit the characters, or there was either like a stiff kind of acting or a bit of like overacting, where this to me was just spot on, like the whole way through. I mean, like I said earlier, like Matoya is amazing. Y'shtola, I mean, to me, that's just her voice. It fits so well. Alphino, so much better. Just, like, makes him a likable character. And again, a lot of this may just be I'm so used to these voices that it's right to me. But they do just such a great job of, like, you know, getting the personality and the emotion and everything of the characters and the scenes. Yeah, it's just so much better. So yeah, those three things I think are like, I mean, there's other things that make Heavensward great, but I think those three things are like, the top three. Yeah, this was just so good. And I look forward to what the patches will bring. Because again, I've said it, time and time again, but, most of my recollections of, Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and even to a point, Stormblood, is just kind of main point to main point, or like big moment to big moment is what I remember. So as far as Heavensward, it's like now I remember Estinian Nidhogg, whatever you want to call that, Nigstein, or Nidstein, Estinian Nidian, I don't, whatever. His like resurgence or whatever at Falcon's Nest, I think. I remember a bit of that, at least that moment of him revealing himself there or whatever. And then obviously Final Steps of Faith and how that all ends. I think I remember most of it just because I've rewatched that cutscene, just even in the Unending Journey, just because it was just so awesome. I enjoyed it so much. And now also, again, I thought that we got the Scions back before this time. Although I think like Yida and Papalymo, I don't really remember coming back until like much closer to Stormblood, I think. But I thought we had Thancred back by now. I was actually expecting him when we went through the Forlands. So I guess he's going to pop up at some point in the patches. And obviously, like 3.4.3.5 is getting into the, the Stormblood story and all that with Ilberd and whatnot. So, I want to say I remember more of Stormblood, but as I get into it, I'll probably go, oh God, I don't remember this, or oh yeah, I've totally forgot about this. I'm trying to think of other kind of like noteworthy things about all of this. I'd say I definitely felt, I want to say I actually felt more times when it was like, okay, come on, get on with the story this time around. But again, like I said the last time in A Realm Reborn, it may just be because I knew what was coming up. And I was just like, come on, like, I want to get to that. Like the whole getting to Azys Law, I was like, oh, come on, And then getting to the aetherochemical facility, whatever it was, research facility. Like I was like, like I wanted to get to that. So yeah, I think it's just, for me, it was because I knew what was coming up. And like, these were just such great moments that it was like, that, again, the ebbs and flows, and those ebbs that lead into the flows, I think this time actually like drug a little bit more for me, just because like I knew, the flows were so good. So, an interesting contrast, I think maybe that's one of the things I've been thinking of a lot with this New Game Plus playthrough, is the difference between the new player experience and the veteran experience. And I think in a way the story gets hurt a little bit for the veteran because of the thing, what's coming up and you get so excited to like experience it again. That those I think very necessary ebbs leading into the flows, can feel they drag a little bit more because, again, of that excitement. And it's interesting to go through this again with just focusing on the MSQ, which is something that I think new players they're told to do, focus on the MSQ. Where me, I've always done it, and some new players will ignore that and still do all the side quests, but me, I always play the side quests as I go through it. And I noted kind of a feeling as I was going through this of like, man, like some areas feel like I burn through it so quickly. Or not burn through it, but like my time spent there is so short compared to what I remember. But again, it's because I just focus on the MSQ. Where like here it was like, you know, oh, you know, help us out and we'll do whatever. And then it like I noted it in Idleshire with the gobbies. You just had to do like one quest. And it was like, okay, you helped us out, so now you're a citizen or whatever. Where I'm sure at the time I didn't just do that one quest. I actually picked up all of the side quests as well and did all of those. So after completing that and then talking, you know, to something all things or or quick thinks, or I'm blanking on, but you know, that gobby, getting back to him, like I'm sure like when I originally did it, it was like, yeah, this feels like the right kind of pacing for this, where in that case in particular I felt like, wow, like I almost had to do nothing. Although I mean, it's gobbies, they're silly, you know, why do they do what they do? But yeah, it's definitely an interesting contrast, again, between, like, if not even going like a new game perspective to a veteran perspective, even just my first time perspective versus the new game plus perspective of things. But I mean, I remember just absolutely being floored by Heavensward when I went through it. But I don't remember my take on A Realm Reborn. Other than, I think, just generally enjoying it. Like, I kept playing it. But Heavensward, I remember going through it and just going like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I still feel that way. I mean, this was definitely like, I enjoyed this more than A Realm Reborn. And anybody who doesn't, I mean, to each their own, I guess, but like, I want to say objectively, this is just better, but, and nobody would really argue with me because, again, all the criticisms for A Realm Reborn. But again, I think that A Realm Reborn is better than, you know, the talk makes it out to be. But I would still put Heavensward well above A Realm Reborn. But again, A Realm Reborn is just, there's so much foundational work that Heavensward was able to just build on or move through that, you know, it could not have done. Heavensward would not be as good as it is without A Realm Reborn. You know, just like the subsequent expansions would not be as good. And obviously, like, Shadowbringers is so good because of everything built up through A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood. This is just such a phenomenal game, such a phenomenal story. And I can honestly, because there are people that just don't like the story in this game. They've gotten to Heavensward and they still don't like the story. And again, to each your own, I'm just going to say, I don't understand you. Like, we are just fundamentally on different wavelengths. Yeah, I can't think of anything really else. And I mean, they're on producer director. Typically, I think that's like the last credit that goes through. So credits may be over now anyway. We will see. Because I'm wondering if I should skip, but it's like, oh, no, here we go. What's next? Oh, here we go. Oh, this is the introduction of the Warriors of Darkness.
Habrea and Igaeorm have fallen. Bested by mortals in their attempt to initiate the Eighth Rejoining. That they should be so complacent. And now it falls to me to deal with the consequences. Without intervention, the balance between light and darkness will begin to shift, placing our mission in jeopardy. Hydaelyn's champion has grown too strong. Her might encroaches upon the realm of gods. Equilibrium must needs be restored. The time has come for you and yours to join the fray. Warrior of Darkness.
Do I look forward to this now, having been through Shadowbringers? Because I don't really remember a whole lot about his and their story arc. So it'll be cool to see that again. Oh, and then this is the probably kind of hint at Alexander, which I don't intend on doing. I'm not that interested. And I don't think
Remind me, why is there no rest for the righteous?
Because they care, Master Garland.
Yeah, I don't intend on doing Alexander, if nothing else, just because it doesn't, I think, it's very much a side story. Unlike, I think, Binding Coils of Bahamut is an important part of the story, of the overall story. I mean, I wouldn't mind going over it again at some point, just to be able to play it straight through and keep it all in my head, because typically 6 months apart, I forget a lot of details, but I'm not super motivated to do it right now.
Of all the things they could have picked to play with, that's not a toy, you bloody fools, it's a primal!
Did we ever, I mean, obviously we didn't through the MSQ, but even through, were there side quests that indicated that this was a primal? Like, how did Sid know that? It's interesting that they do... Well, yeah, they introduced Omega in the main story as well, so that's just a thing. Spires of deception crumble to dust to lay bare truths long concealed. Beyond simmering shadow lies shimmering light. If the Eorzean Alliance can be restored to its former glory, so can the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Let's find our lost friends and begin anew. Hell yeah. So that's nice. They kind of... It seems like they're hinting at, like, that's what's next in the story. You know, you finished 3.0, but now let's work on getting the Scions back together. After long years of estrangement, Ishgard rejoins her sister nations in the Alliance. Words cannot well express my joy. None of this would have been possible without you, my friend. Change is coming to Eorzea, though it will inevitably bring with it a measure of upheaval with hard work. Peace and prosperity are sure to follow. Yeah, and like I was saying, I think it's really cool that they actually touch on that, like, everything doesn't just come together with a nice, neat little bow or whatever in Ishgard. Like, there is still a lot of growth and strife, you know, before things really start to work themselves out. And yet, even as we look forward to the coming of a new age, we must needs be wary of old threats. The lords of Garlemald have not relinquished their claim upon Eorzea, and we shall be forced to contend with them again ere long. And then there is the matter of our comrade Estinian, claimed body and soul by Nidhogg. If there is a way to rescue him, we must find it. Suffice it to say, the path ahead holds no shortage of challenges, but together we shall overcome them. Hell yeah. Thank you all for watching this video. Tonight was an amazing stream. We finished off Heavensward, and it's as good as, if not better than I remember. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into the patch content. So if you want to see that live, the link to my Twitch is down below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and have a great one.